think what happened is my left foot slipped as I was going to like vault onto the slip and slide, and my right knee just boom pounded into the ground. Had to get stitches, blood. It was like a trail of blood through my yard. A day later, that wound got infected. So then I spent the nice July 4th week in the hospital watching fireworks up the depressing hospital window. And so that kind of derailed our momentum.
All right. Welcome to our very first episode of the Sleepy Dads podcast. I'm Anish. I'm joined by Brandon and Eric. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who's already subscribed to the podcast. For those who haven't yet, please be sure to do so. Yeah. So please be sure to do so on Spotify, on Apple Podcast. We'll also be available on YouTube as well. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Our first episode, boys. How are we feeling? I'll start with you, Eric. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Anish, the only thing you left out was subscribe, rate 5 stars, leave a comment.
Yeah. Unsubscribe, subscribe, resubscribe. Yeah.
You gotta
rate 5 stars.
This in the algorithm. You gotta help us boost our numbers up.
I know, right? Busting with the boys helped us out. Helped us out. Marketing 101. Brandon, how are you feeling? First podcast.
I'm fired up. We're going to the moon. This is going to the
moon. Hey, listen.
All 10 of our followers, they're going to pick us up, take us to the moon.
Exactly.
This is going up to tens of people out there.
Tens of people, yeah. Snowball effect. You start small, right? Get the snowball rolling. Look, I don't know. We don't know where this is going to go. We don't know what type of stuff we're going to talk about, but we're just, doing it for fun. I think, so a little bit on why kind of we started this podcast. It kind of started, me and a couple of dad buddies were hanging out, and I was like, we were just talking about dad stuff, right? So, yeah, sorry. It was not Brandon.
That was not me.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch. You're cheating on us.
Yeah, I feel like I'm betraying my podcast host here. Not a great start for episode 1. But
I'm logging off.
Yeah, log it off. Brandon, we've lost Brandon. So yeah, we were just kind of talking, shooting the shit, like talking about just stupid dad stuff as guys normally do. So I figured, hey, why not get a podcast going with my two best buddies, Brandon and Eric. We've known each other for quite some time. Eric and myself have known each other since Cub Scouts, kindergarten.
Literally elementary school Cub Scouts.
Yeah. And then Brandon came into our lives, I would say probably sophomore year of college. We call it, Brandon came into our lives because of we call it the lost year.
Dude, Katie, log off. Yeah. Log off. Don't listen to what they're saying. There's been no other woman in my life.
Yeah.
It's pre-Katie. This is way pre-Katie.
That was pre-Katie. Yeah, it was pre-Katie, so it's fine. It's fine. Everybody has a past, Eric. It's okay. So yeah, Brandon came into our lives then, and ever since then we always joke around that we're stuck with each other, basically. No one, I don't think anybody would voluntarily be friends with us at this point in our lives. So, we're just kind of stuck with each other till we die.
We have too much shared history.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a lot of roommates in college. I think I probably lived with like 13 or 14 different people.
Dude, but you loved.
Pause.
Yeah. Eric, it sounded like you were going somewhere else with that. And you
held
back.
I was a loyal guy. Me and Anish were roommates from our sophomore year on.
Yeah. Sophomore year till we graduated, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Snuck into my life.
All 8 years. 8 years of college.
Yeah. It did not take us 8 years.
No, I'm just kidding.
4.5. So yeah, that's kind of a little backstory of how we know each other. Like I said, we kind of talked for a while about potentially doing a podcast together. I know I had a solo podcast. You guys would come on every now and then. And then we just kind of randomly talked about starting one up, potentially all three of us, and timing just never worked out. We had a good plan laid out, and then we were going to start it, and then unfortunately Eric had a little bit of an injury issue, and we had to delay the start of this podcast. Eric, you want to tell us what happened?
What's funny, Anish, is what got this thing going is as I was feeling better in the hospital, I was like, I have like 30 texts about Brandon and Anish want to do a podcast. Yeah, so we were going to do this like over a month ago, but the weekend leading up to July 4th had a nice little party. Giant 35-foot inflatable slip and slide. It's like 4 feet high. You can't get hurt on those kind of things. And so toward the end of the evening, me and another buddy, Kendall, we were racing down the slip and slide, and I think what happened is my left foot slipped as I was going to like vault onto the slip and slide, and my right knee just boom pounded into the ground. Had to get stitches, blood. It was like a trail of blood through my yard. A day later, that wound got infected. So then I spent the nice July 4th week in the hospital watching fireworks up the depressing hospital window. And so that kind of derailed our momentum of getting a podcast going. But now I can bend my knee. I'm working on it, getting back to being healthy and strong.
The comeback.
That's right.
What's funny is we were texting and like we were going back and forth, and then Brandon called me. He's like, "Hey, when's the last time you talked to Eric?" I was like, "I don't know, probably like a couple of weeks ago." I don't know. He's like, "Why?" Or I was like, "Why?" He's like, "You should probably call him. He's like in the hospital." I'm like, "What?" But for those who don't know Eric, he has you have like a frequent flyer card with the hospital at this point. Well, I feel like
you say that, but I feel like it's like when I do go, it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go to the hospital, I want to go for 5 days. I don't want to be there just in and out.
Yeah, right. What's the fun in that?
Anish, did I tell you the second time we were in the emergency room was me and Katie midday on Monday, and there was a woman there, and she had a vomit bag, and she just sat there, and she was like going, ugh, and she was vomiting into her bag, and she kept going, "Help me, somebody help!" So I'm sitting there, and my knee is like twice the size that it normally is, and I can't move. And this woman's just like pleading for help at the hospital.
Best for the flight, dude.
Dude, yeah, I was like, let's go.
I'll tell you what, you sent that picture of what your knee looked like, and it about made me vomit, like what you described that lady was doing. So not a pretty sight for sure.
Yeah, maybe she saw my knee.
Yeah. It was gnarly. Yeah. So like we mentioned, this podcast, we're going to talk about probably a bunch of stupid shit. It's literally going to be just us three kind of just catching up on the week and just shooting the shit.
Yeah, I think we really just wanted an excuse to make us talk.
I was going to say, I just want to see you guys.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we text pretty much every day.
Like, what are you thinking
some sort
about?
Of text communication.
Like, what's going on, dude? What's going on in your life?
If it wasn't Sleepy Dad podcast, it would have been like Daddy Pillow Talk podcast. That sounds a little weird.
Yeah.
Dear Daddy.
Yeah. So that sounded weird.
Yeah.
Dads.
It's the most non-homoerotic podcast out there amongst a bunch of boys.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah. So it's funny because, like, also I feel like people always wonder like what dads talk about like when we're together. Mainly the wives, right? They always talk. I feel like they always wonder like what we talk about. Like, do we actually talk about anything of substance? Perfect example is when you guys came up to visit me in December. Priya was asking me. She was like, what do you guys talk about? Because we would be up later, just like watching TV basically. I was like, nothing. I don't know. We didn't really talk about anything. She said, "What did you guys do?" I was like, we watched Entourage for like the 30th time.
We
just sat there in silence.
The Nightmare Before Christmas and Entourage.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we had the same conversations with Entourage as we did when we watched it in 2008 for the first time.
Anish, when you posted that we were going to be doing a podcast, Katie was like, "Hey, you're doing a podcast?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we are." And she goes, she's like, "What are you going to talk about?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "When are you going to do it?" I don't know.
Yeah.
You just asked me.
We're not planners.
Yeah,
we're not.
Like, what are y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Once the camera start rolling, the magic starts happening.
Yeah. If you call this magic, we'll see. Maybe by episode 100, if we get there, it'll be magic.
When we get syndicated.
Yeah, when we get syndicated, maybe get some sponsorships. Eric, speaking of sponsorships, did you have a ad read you wanted to do?
Oh yeah, Anish, I do. I want to go ahead and get this podcast started by thanking our premier sponsor, adamandeve.com. If you're having marital issues or you're just looking to spice things up in the bedroom, make sure you go to adamandeve.com and look at all their interesting marital aids from the wide variety of things that can make your life a little bit better in the bedroom. So if you're looking to change it up or you're looking for just something a little fun, go to adamandeve.com and make sure you use promo code Eric, Brandon, Anish likes to watch, and you'll save yourself.
Well done.
Thank you.
Great ad read.
Thank you.
By the way, for those who didn't pick up on that was fake. 100% fake. So, oh man. So I guess let's just kind of dive into it, man. What have you guys been up to? Brandon, I know you've been you were in Augusta this past weekend. You went to the
I wanna
Man
hear
U
how-
Liverpool game.
I want to hear how that was.
Oh yeah, we talked about Eric's injury. Originally,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
supposed to be doing Spartan race this last weekend, but the epic slip and slide injury occurred, so we had to shift that. So literally the week you were in the hospital, my brother texted me. So my brother lives down in Augusta, and his wife is pregnant and literally getting induced this next week. And he had 2 tickets to Liverpool, Manchester United.
So, can I still go to the game?
No, he texted me. He was like, "Man, I wish you were free." That he knew we were doing the Spartan race. He didn't know about that you were in the hospital. He texted me. He's like, "Man," he's like, "I wish you were free." He's like, "I don't think Macy's gonna be able to go to this game. Like, this is too close." To delivery time. Like, now I got this extra ticket. I was like, well, funny you say that because I think we might be down a man. So it worked out. We were able to go down, see them. It was good. They live down in Augusta, so we don't get to see them very often. So it was good. The kids got to go down and hang out. All the cousins got to play, and then he and I got to sneak away Saturday, drive over to Columbia, watch Liverpool, Manchester United. He's a huge Manchester United fan. I always pulled for Liverpool growing up. I'll be honest, I don't watch soccer like I used to.
You bailed on Liverpool right as they became
dad.
awesome. Yeah, just a sleepy dad. But you did.
Yeah.
There's too much out there to keep up with.
You did bail on Liverpool as soon as they became like Premier League champions, Champions League winners, and Brandon's like, "Oh yeah."
And I rooted for them last night. So we went, and man, it was like perfect, like weather wise. Like, so the day before it was like almost 100 degrees down there. So I was like, man, we are going to die out there, So, but then that morning we wake up and it's like 80% chance of thunderstorms. And we're like, oh no, now it's going to get rained out. Like, we're not going to get to watch the game. And we drive, it's about an hour from his house. It is pouring down rain the entire ride to the game. We get there and it stops. And we're like, okay, so we park. There's a little fan fest thing going on. So we're going to go check that out. There's, vendor village. We're like, we're going to go buy some swag. Go check out the food truck, check out there's some music, and then they had like some old legends like talking, doing interviews and stuff. So we go check that out. The lines, I guess that stadium holds like 75,000 people, and they were all out there in this little area, and it was like shoulder to shoulder. Lines were crazy long.
Did they have every gate open, or did they limit the gates?
It seemed like they had everyone open. I'll get to that. We just kind of jumped in one and went. That stadium's kind of weird. Like, I felt like if you went in one side, it was kind of broken up. Like, if you went in one side and you were in another section, there were some sections you wouldn't be able to get to. You had to go in the right gate, kind of deal. But we stood in line forever, and look at the merch and whatever. And so I bought a cool scarf. He spent a lot of money on all kind of stuff.
On a loser Manchester United gear.
So we were like, all right, we'll do this. We'll buy this stuff. We'll run back to the car, drop it in the car, and then head into the game. And literally, as soon as we literally paid and we'll start walking towards the car, and all of a sudden it starts like pouring rain. And we're like trying to book it to the car. And I don't know if you're familiar with South Carolina. I was not, but it was at the football stadium, and they have like these line of train cabooses out there, and I guess people rent them out for tailgating. And so people were tailgating on them, and we just hopped up on one. We're like, "Can we come up here?" Like, and they were like, "Yeah, sure." So we hopped up on this train caboose and just kind of waited out the storm, and then it stopped. We're like, all right, it stopped raining. We're like, all right, now we don't know where to go in at, and we're like, it's too close. We can't go back to the car. Let's just go ahead and go in. And then we see all these people like lining up and then blocking off an area, and we're like, what is going on? And so we just go over there, and it was where Manchester United was pulling up, like their bus was pulling up. So we literally like got to see them.
Yeah,
like,
Tyler sent me the video. That's sick.
Yeah, it was awesome, and it literally just happened because we just happened to jump on this train, wait out the rain, and we just happened to step off right as their bus was pulling up. So we got to watch them walk in. So that was cool. And then we went in, grabbed some food, and then just enjoyed the game. And then the weather was great. Like, the temperature had dropped because of the rain. Wasn't really that humid. After halftime, it rained just a little bit, but it wasn't like, it was like sprinkles. It wasn't anything that like, we didn't get like soaking wet or anything. So like, we like threaded the needle on the weather. Like, it could have been bad, could have been 100 degrees, could have been a torrential downpour. And somehow we threaded the needle just right. But leaving, well, I guess I will say Liverpool won 3-0. Worked them over.
Ugly. It was ugly.
It was fun. It was fun. So it was a good game, but we get out to the parking lot, and I don't know how this stadium holds. If they're listening, I got a bone to pick. I don't know how they host SEC football games, because we paid for VIP parking, like to be up in like the stadium parking lot, and we're like, all right, we'll get out of here quick. We sat in the parking lot for an hour before we even got to the road. Like, so we got out there right as Joe Rogan did that Netflix comedy thing. I was like, oh, we'll watch it on my phone on the way home. We watched it all in the parking lot. We just sat in the car, like, while we were waiting in line to get out. I don't know I never found out, like, why we couldn't get out, but, I mean, we literally sat in that. We almost sat in the parking lot longer than we were at the game, is how it almost ended up. But so we didn't get home till like 1:30 last night, back to his house till like 1:30 last night, and then we woke up this morning, basically ate something small, and then drove back home to Chattanooga. So I am definition of a sleepy dad today, but pulled it through for you boys.
You know what's funny, Brandon? Those events, they're like, they seem like such a good idea, but yet the logistics always suck. Whenever we did the Nashville Predators and Dallas Stars Winter Classic game back in 2020, it was in the Cotton Bowl down in Dallas, and it held like 85,000 people. They had 2 gates open. They wouldn't open all the gates. And so that's why I was asking if they had all the gates open, because same thing, shoulder to shoulder, everybody going in. You couldn't even get to the restroom or like the concessions lines to like get to your seats and stuff. And luckily we were only like, our hotel was like a mile away, so we just walked back from the stadium. But people were waiting for the tram system, and it was like literally like a cattle just waiting to all just like get pressed into the tram system they had there. And I was like, yeah, this sucks. Like, as soon as it's over, you're like, oh yeah, logistically, this sucks.
It did suck.
But that's also, is that a sleepy dad getting older thing where you're like, golly, there's lines. I can't get out of here.
No, it just sucked.
Yeah, 100%.
We had another family friends that were there, and I was texting with the dad, and they had gotten like an Airbnb, were staying in Columbia that night, and they had just Ubered to the game, and he said it was fine Ubering there. But
everybody's trying to Uber.
He got out. I think he texted me and said they got an Uber out like about the time we were getting out of the parking lot. So they literally were just standing up at the front of the stadium. I was like, we would try to come find you and take you, but we can't. I was like, dude, we can't. We're not getting anywhere either.
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, the game was fun. It was an awesome experience. Like, I was very thankful. Got to go, and get to. I mean, that's cool. Get to see 2 like.
Oh yeah. What did you see?
Mega franchises, and you get to see like players playing. They brought stars.
You guys see Mohamed Salah play. What did you think about him shaving his head?
Dude, it was weird.
It was very weird.
And he looked strange, and I couldn't. It was hard to like pick him out. At first, I was like, "Where is he?" And literally, my brother's trying to show me. He's like, "There he is." He shaved his head. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, he looks weird. Like, I don't like it.
He had like the crazy hair that you'd be able to see from anywhere. Yeah.
But I mean, he was still good. It did not affect his play. He was still good.
Yeah. The real question.
I know you were watching the game. He had a sick assist.
Yeah, he did.
Saw that, but.
The real question is: it worth seeing those stars for what you had to go through? The in and outs of getting to the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, for that, yeah, I think so, because it's. I mean, how often does Manchester United and Liverpool come to the U.S.? Like, that's the thing. It's like that.
I mean, every summer, every summer,
just every summer since 2009.
They've been doing this for like forever.
Well, have you seen them? You haven't seen them?
No,
no, I haven't. That's a good point. Good point.
But they come every summer. I just don't.
And Eric loves them.
I love them. If you're not a mank, you're a wank.
Yeah,
get the
dude. Because
I was loving that the all the advertisement was like it's like, what was it, the Red Rivalry or the Battle of the Red, and yet Liverpool was wearing black. Yeah, but Liverpool was wearing like their black jerseys, and I'm like, well, the whole thing is about how like red and like the colors of the teams.
Whoever the home team was, so it was Rivals and Red Tour. It was Manchester, Liverpool, and Arsenal was the third team, and they all played each other. And each team had a chance to be the home team.
Gotcha.
And so the home team wore the red for those games. You know.
Gotcha. I wonder why they chose South Carolina. I mean, it sold out.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, there was. I don't know what I thought it would be. I mean, those are huge teams, but yeah, I mean, there was so many people there, like just decked out and fired up. You know, we talked to a lot of people all around us, and I think that was the cooler thing. Is like, you know. Another sleepy dad thing. It's like you go to sporting events now, and it's usually like people getting drunk, getting in fights and stuff. But it's almost like soccer fans, especially like something like that. People were just happy to.
It's like a festival.
Yeah, people are literally with like, even if they're wearing like Liverpool shirt or a Man U shirt, like, you know, there's jokes and stuff. But for the most part, everybody was like, "This is just a cool experience." Like, there wasn't any like craziness that I saw anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't like you getting heckled out of the Atlanta Hawks arena with the D Rose jersey.
So that me and my brother brought that up because he wore a Man U shirt, and I have a Nashville SC shirt, the Johnny Cash ones. So I was like, I'm wearing my Nashville Johnny Cash.
Oh God, you're like the guy who wears the Chicago Blackhawks jersey to a Predators versus Blues game.
But I told him I was like, I figured this was a safe jersey because we talked about it. I was like, I didn't really see any fighting or anything. I was like, I figured this would be a safe jersey to wear. I was like, I can't handle another. I wore a Chicago Bulls shirt to an Atlanta Hawks game, and we lost on like a last second buzzer beater.
You get berated.
Leaving the stadium, I got berated trying to walk back to the car. So I was like, that scarred me. I'm not doing that again. Getting yelled. People call me Steve Kerr, and it was just, it was not good. So I'm not going through that again.
Yeah, never again will I make that mistake.
Learn my lesson.
Yeah,
I stayed neutral with Switzerland.
Like I'm Nashville SC. No one has a problem with me.
Hey, someone did yell like Nashville SC.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't hear. I didn't even hear it.
What?
Yeah. My brother thought I knew him. He was like, "Hey, there's your friends." It was someone like you, and I was like, "Huh?" And it was
it Bryce? Was Bryce there in his Nashville SC shirt?
Crazy enough, I see Bryce at every sporting event. He was there. Yeah.
Nice.
But it was an awesome game. Fun game.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds fun. I always, every time those tours come, you're always like, man, I would love to go to that. And then the sleepy dad in me always thinks about logistics. Maybe specifically just like having, I don't know, you guys have probably never been to Soldier Field, but that is probably logistically the worst field to get in and out of. Like, first of all, they have like very limited parking, like by Soldier Field, and it's like crazy expensive. Like it's not even worth paying to park close there. So if you don't park there, you got to park literally on the other side of Lakeshore Drive, which is like the main highway between the city and like the lakeside where the arena is or the stadium is. So you basically have to park like 2 miles away, and then you got to walk like all the way to the stadium, like underneath Lakeshore Drive. And then like you're getting hurdled in like cattle because for some reason they never open up all the gates. So like I went there for like a concert. I don't remember what concert it was.
The Titans do the same thing. They do the same thing.
It's so annoying. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, I don't know why they...
It's freezing.
Yeah, so like I went there for a concert and they literally had us huddled in like this area where it goes underneath the stadium for a little bit and then it comes back out into the stadium, and like they had closed off the gate, so like we were all just stuck in there in the middle of summer with like no airflow, and like people were getting pissed off, dude. It was like we were like probably an hour, like 20 minutes away from like rioting. But yeah, every time I think about going to those, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. So yeah, every time I think about going to these events, I'm like, maybe I'll pass, or maybe I'll wait till it goes to like a different stadium that I can make it out to.
Wait till it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah, wait till it comes out on Netflix, dude. Dude, I do that with movies now. Instead of going to the theater, I'm like, I'll just wait till.
Dude, I went and saw Deadpool 3 IMAX Sunday morning 9:30. It was a $$2-3 ticket.
Dude, exactly.
For a Sunday morning ticket, you're like, geez Louise.
Now we'll say some movies, $5. Yeah, some movies are still worth going to. Like Dune 2 in the theaters was
Don't
awesome.
Get me going, Anish. Don't get me going. Hey, Brandon, have you seen Dune 2 yet?
Yeah.
Brandon, have you seen Dune 2?
No.
You son of a bitch.
I can't get through the first one. The first one put me to sleep.
All right, Brandon.
Brandon is so good.
Anish, what do we do? What do we do about this?
I'm getting sleepy talking about it.
Yeah, Brandon, you can just go to sleep for the rest of this podcast.
We just lost 6 followers.
Yeah.
Talking about...
This is now a Dune podcast. Speaking of which, I know. Lisan Al Gaib.
May thy knife.
Eric swears that the second one's great. I'm sure it is.
Dude, it's awesome.
Not great. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, literally a masterpiece.
It's fantastic.
Like fantastic.
It's a cinematic experience.
Hey, cinematic experience.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah.
No. See, we know you. I know you, and you're not going to do it.
Yeah. It's like us trying to get Eric to watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I heard it wasn't that good.
Never. You son of a bitch.
Now we're losing followers.
Yeah, now we're definitely losing followers. Speaking, one last thing on Dune. Did you see the trailer for Dune Prophecy, Eric?
Yes.
What do you think? What are your thoughts? Or do you not even care about that story?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's. I hope it's good. I feel like it's like what? It's like a prequel, right? Like 1,000 years before the movie or whatever. Hopefully it's good. I don't know. It just seems kind of like prequels technically or usually aren't that like interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It definitely seems like a money grab.
I hope it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's a masterpiece.
It will be.
Well, it's a TV series, so it's not actually a cinematic thing. It's more a TV series. So, Brandon.
Nerd.
Brandon. Well, actually, like the.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Brandon. It's a
Yeah,
TV
I'll
show.
do the glasses hike up for you, Eric.
Thank you. I don't have any glasses.
Yeah.
I have perfect vision. Sorry.
This podcast is quickly becoming taking shots at each other.
Insult fest.
Yeah, it only took us 25 minutes for that to happen. And so yeah, Brandon, you experienced Liverpool, Manchester United. Good for you. I'm glad you got to see that in person. Eric, what have you been up to these past few weeks since your recovery?
I would say July is usually my favorite month of the year, and this has been a not very fun month because even whenever my wound finally healed over and stuff, I was like, oh, that was fast. Well, technically it was 30 days, so It was a month to get my knee even just being able to move. But no, it's like it's weird because literally now we've been in Ophelia starts school on Monday. Hattie starts Phillies go to second grade. Hattie starts kindergarten on Wednesday. So now we're like, oh crap, we're in the drop off, pickup, early release schedules, and then all that stuff. So we're like, oh crap, this is our last weekend of chill, and then tomorrow it's literally the gauntlet starts. Yeah,
we're starting Zoya in preschool this year because she's a September baby, so she just missed the cutoff to start kindergarten. So we're doing preschool through like the kind of like our park district area, and it's kind of stupid. They only do it for like 2 hours and 45 minutes for the day, so it's like,
dude, all this stuff it's all set up for like stay-at-home parents is what it is like. Because honestly, I keep thinking, I'm like, when the hell would my parents have been able to pick us up at 1:30 on a Tuesday?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is like 11:45. Like we had to pick them up at 11:45, and every 5 minutes we don't pick them up, they charge us. I'm like, God damn, dude.
Well, dude, that was the annoying summer camps the girls did, where like they were cool summer camps, but they would go from like 9 to 2 or 9 to 1, and you're like, well, that's an annoying drop-off time, and it's an annoying pickup time.
Yeah, it's like you're lucky. Well, I mean, most everybody gets to work from home, but not everybody gets to work from home. Some people have to go in the office, and it's like I don't know how other people do it. Like, or like a single parent. Like, I don't know how you have to have help. You can't do it alone.
Like, those are the people that are paying like an arm and a leg to do like all day, right? Like drop them off early in the morning, pick them up afterwards at night. But like, man, we did that for like not even a full year, and we only did like 2 days a week, and it was like, I was like, this isn't worth it. This isn't fun. I enjoy keeping money.
Yeah, how is this helpful to me?
Once I get in school, you get like a pay bump because it's like you're not like daycare's so crazy expensive or preschool or whatever. Like,
dude, exactly. I can't wait for that day.
But you say that, but
it's all relative. I think it's a lie. It's like they're like, oh man, when they get in school, it's cheaper, and it's not.
They're doing more like extracurricular activities.
Anish, last week we took Hattie wanted to do ice skating lessons, and so Ophelia had already done them before, so we did both of them, and we went to the ice rink and we used skate rentals, and Katie was like, well, if she wants to do this and we want to buy her skates, how much are they? I was like, Katie, I'm like, if we buy skates, they're like $600, $700. And they'll all grow.
Have to buy them.
Yes. Yeah. And so we were in there. They had like hockey sticks that were so sick, but they were like, they're all like $700 hockey sticks. And I was like, at any moment, this thing could snap.
Dude,
six slap shot.
Eric bought 2.
I bought 2. I'm back in my ice hockey days.
Dude. Oh man. Yeah, and that's another conversation. Like, if they want people to play hockey and they want hockey to grow and like actually have people enjoy it, maybe not make it like over $1,000 to even just play the sport for a year.
I mean, all your gear, the sticks, the ice time, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous. It's a trap, and it's the Scott Hamilton. He's like from Nashville, the figure skater Scott Hamilton. Yeah. He does all these like free skating lessons. So like, so it was technically free. We had to pay for skate rental and stuff, but that's how they get you. And then you get your kid who's like, "Oh, I love it." And you're like, "Okay, let's do more." And you're like, $800 for like 3 months of skating lessons.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Probably only one place to go.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, there's probably like 5 rinks. Yeah, it's like 5 rinks in Nashville.
Yeah, and really out of those 5, there's probably only like 2 that are worth going to.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're actually nice and like up to date, and But yeah, dude, extracurriculars, they're killing me, dude. Like we started Zoya in dance about a year and a half ago. So Brandon knows this. Brandon's full into the dance culture. Like, dude, when we started out, we're like, oh, this isn't bad. Whatever you pay for the monthly class and then all that, and then shit starts to add up, dude. Then you got recital outfits that like they're never gonna wear in their life ever again, like $100. Like, what am I doing here? Like, it's ridiculous, man. I don't know how you do it.
Look, it's a lot. I will throw you some insider trading info. There are
you sell your body online to pay for the outfits. Is that what you're saying?
Feetfinder.com.
I thought that's what this podcast was.
Brandon's the top 1% of the micropenis.com group.
Yes.
He's the top earner.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. That's why we call him Brandon Dong.
I got 2 subscribers. I think I'm looking at them.
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning of this pod, we're stuck with each other. Nobody will be our friends on purpose, like intentionally.
Brandon's come a long way since he started. He's a wiener in our book, boys.
Yeah.
He's the daddiest dad joker.
Yeah.
About penis jokes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I felt like you were going somewhere serious with that, like an actual conversation.
I don't know. You'd have pretty up thought to Courtney. You can sell that stuff. There's like online. There's a Facebook group for everything. Sell that stuff.
Dude, I know. We need to. Yeah.
Micropenis.com.
No, that's selling something else, Eric. Man. Good times. All right. So, obviously, this, we're trying to figure out the rhythm of this podcast. So we're going to be all over the place here. Have you guys had any funny dad stories happen to you guys over the last week or that you've seen? Mm-hmm. Anything like that? Or just even, fun little dad tidbits you want to share? I have one if you guys don't.
Lead the way. Yeah, lead the way, Nish.
So, yeah. So, obviously in our day-to-day, we get caught up in like the daily grind of work and, fucking school and extracurriculars and all that shit. And like, you just kind of get caught up in your own little bubble of shitstorm going on, all day, every day. And sometimes you kind of feel like, man, I'm like the only motherfucker going through this shit, right? Like you feel like in your head, you're like, I feel like everybody has it so much easier. And then yesterday we went to like an outlet mall. Priya wanted to go do some shopping or whatever. So we were out there and like, Zoya's kind of like me. Like we have like a 3-store limit where you have my undivided attention, especially if I'm not shopping for myself. And like after 3 stores, I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore. I gotta do something else or, go keep myself busy. So like, Zoya's exactly like me. So like Priya was shopping, so we went out. I got her some ice cream or whatever. We were just sitting there. It's like an outdoor area. And I was just sitting there like looking around, and there was literally like probably like 5 other dads out there with their kids.
All sharing the same misery.
Yeah, just all like looking down at their little cup of ice cream, like just contemplating.
You're like swirling the spoon in the ice cream, just like
exactly. And I'm like, yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know that we're not in this mode.
Anish, in those moments, even when I'm in the mix of all that same kind of setting, I'm always like, look at that sad piece of shit. As I'm like right next to him, killing time. Man, thank God I'm not doing that. I'm like swirling.
I know Eric and I had this discussion. I can't remember, Anish, we probably talked about it too, but I think it was like the time Eric and I, we were vacation. I don't know if you call it a vacation. We're at Disney together. More of a trip, I guess. But you get like, it's a tough. I think it's a trip. It's not a vacation. It's a trip. It's tough. You're in the thick of it, and you just when you walk past another family, and you just get like a snippet.
3 seconds. You get a 3-second snippet.
You just hear like just yelling or whatever's going on, and you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's having a rough day, or that family's they're not doing too well today. So it's fun to get that second clip of someone's life and how their days.
Anish, one time we were walking by somebody and I heard a mom and she was like doing the thing where she was like down in her kid's face, like talking to him like serious. And she was like, all I heard was, your father and I spent so much money on this trip and we're not going to let you ruin it. And we're like, keep walking on. I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, okay, that kid's an asshole. I'm like, that mom's losing it.
Yeah. Dude, first of all, that's got to be the worst argument to pull on a kid because they have no understanding
they don't care.
Of money, of cost. Dude, we tried to pull that.
Emo, putting the hair. Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Screw you, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be the worst type of rebuttal to give to a kid because they're just like, I don't give a shit. Like you're ruining my good time. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dragged
me here. I didn't ask to come to Disney World.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't ask to be here. You motherfucker.
Yeah, you're like, you're getting more amped up. I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choke him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No,
get kicked out of Disney World.
Yeah. Kids are great, listeners. Kids are great. Yeah. Disney's got to be the epitome of like the
Well-
place where you kind of see that, right?
Dude, it's hot. Long lines, people in scooters, Brandon, cutting you off everywhere.
Don't get started.
Next time I go, I'm gonna try to do videos of like no. Hey, with my knee, maybe. If I can get in there, maybe I will ride a scooter. No, I'm gonna start like taking pictures and stuff and just send them to Brandon so I can trigger him.
Yeah.
Disney's tough enough. They just give away those scooters out there.
Brandon's not a Disney dad. I feel like.
No.
I feel like when other parents when they go to Disney, even though when they're in the thick of it, they're like, you know what? At the end of the day, this really is the happiest place on earth. And Brandon's just like, fuck Disney.
And this is years ago, but one time we went, my family and Brandon's family went down to Disney World, and we were doing goofy photos of like dads of Disney. And if you look on Instagram, that hashtag, the filter for dads of Disney, it's all like gay couples.
And then a picture
like,
of me.
Yeah, me and Brandon like hugging in front of the castle, and
That's great. I'm
So,
glad
I
we
mean,
used
you
that
know what?
hashtag, Eric.
yeah, dads of Disney. If you're out there, respect.
Yeah, respect.
If you're out there, hit the like and subscribe.
Hit that like, subscribe, rate 5 stars,
leave a comment.
leave a comment.
Hey man, we might move into a new set of followers with
Hey, dude.
Dads of Disney.
Hey,
Well, there,
we'll go.
Eric on here? Yeah.
We'll go in any direction we need to.
Yeah, exactly, right? To the moon.
To the
Told you.
All right.
Altinos.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? Did that trigger any other dad stories or experiences that you guys have experienced that you want to share your wealth of knowledge onto our 8 listeners?
You think we have a wealth of knowledge?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
That was as soon as it came out of my mouth.
no, you're like, if you came here for like, if you came here for advice or like knowledge tidbits, you came to the wrong place.
Yeah. As soon as I said that, I was like, yeah, it doesn't sound right. That didn't feel right coming off the tongue. All right. So let's keep it moving. Wanted to do something fun for the first episode. I don't know how many times we'll do this type of things, and it's pretty cliche. You see this happen on a lot of. We're doing it, Eric. We're doing it.
Eric doesn't
this
like
happen on a lot
fun.
of podcasts, but I think we're gonna do it. So we're gonna do a draft now. Everybody's still okay with the draft. I want to make sure everybody's okay with this.
You know,
Eric.
the draft is getting me in shape. It's getting me in shape for my fantasy draft. I'm gonna dominate y'all there too, so I'm ready.
Yeah. Speaking of fantasy draft, our draft is going to be on a Sunday. Should we do like a live?
Well,
Like, should we record while we draft, or should we just
maybe
maybe
that again.
That'd be fun.
What day is
And
it
the
again?
25th?
Hey,
Whatever that Sunday is.
I'm sure people love a random 3 friends podcast talking about their fantasy draft. That's going to be huge numbers.
Huge numbers. Talk about numbies. All right.
Then we're really
So-
going to get an Adam and Eve sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we're going to do a draft. We're going to do a draft of the best fictional dads. So it could be TV, movie, whatever you feel like putting out
Are you
there.
Are you going best character? Are you going best
Dude.
dad?
Do what you want.
Yeah,
Do it-
leave it to your
in your
interpretation.
heart.
Yeah.
It's in your heart.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your draft, dude. Your
Yeah, it's
draft.
your draft. We're just living in it.
Yeah, dude. If you do a bad draft, that's on you, man. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see whose team wins.
Okay.
So we'll let Eric go first because I just think it's funny because he didn't want to do this to
He's
begin
so
with.
fired up.
No,
So-
I'm going to go off. Mine are all obviously they're fictional because they're TV.
Eric's like Bambi's
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
Number one.
Because he impregnated the bitch and got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Great good.
So we'll do Eric, Brandon, and myself, and then we'll do a snake draft. So like I'll get 2 picks, and then Brandon, and Eric, you'll get 2 picks. You guys want to do 4 rounds? Is that okay, or should we do 3?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Are we writing this down? Anybody writing this down?
Yeah, I'll write it down. I'll keep track.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right, Eric, your first pick.
All
Who
right.
you got?
Number one, fictional TV dad. I'm going with Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
Great father. First one to go Super Saiyan. Brought his son along to be Super Saiyan. Helped his son defeat Cell in the battle of Cell versus the Earth. First one to learn Kamehameha. He included all of his friends. That's my number 1 pick, Goku.
Nice.
Also, he
Nice.
goes by Kakarot from his own plan. But go.
Nice. Brandon, who you got?
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you slept on this pick because I think we go with the OG. We go with the main man, America's dad, Danny Tanner
Yeah.
from Full
That's good.
House. For our generation, he's the top fictional dad. out there doing it by himself. He had his buddies and brother-in-laws out there, but raising 3 girls by himself out in California with those prices. You seen those home prices?
Oh, dude, they'd be living in Kansas now. It would have been like, the Tanners had to move out of California.
They moved out. That would have been an episode. No, Danny Tanner, OG number 1 dad, going with him.
Nice.
Solid choice.
All right. My first pick, I'm going to go with Alan Matthews. Boy Meets World. I don't know how you guys slept on him.
He's a good dad. He's a good dad. He's a real one.
He's a good dad.
Yeah.
Beating up cult leaders, taking in kids that aren't his. Just an all-around great dad. And let's be honest, Corey and Eric, probably not the best kids to keep under control at all times. So
Name's name Eric.
Yeah. So props to him. And then my second pick, I'm gonna go off the reservation here. I'm gonna go Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Good one.
Oh, yeah. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. No,
he fucks around and he messes things up, but he cares.
Exactly. His kids turned out fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, you're back up.
I am. I'm gonna go this guy mainly because we rewatched this as a family now that we got my niece going into high school, Lily's in middle school, so it's like we can kind of get out of a lot of the kids shows, kind of working that way. So we're trying to watch more family friendly content, right? So I'm going with one of my favorite dads. I love watching him, the Modern Family dad, Phil Dunphy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Always fun. I mean, I feel like he'd fit in. Always fun.
Magic. He does magic.
Loves magic.
He's a great real estate agent.
Great dad. Goofy. A lot of dad jokes. We love the dad jokes. And, there's usually a good message at the end. He really cares about the kids. So,
yeah.
I love Phil Dunphy. Big Phil fan.
That's a good choice.
Unorthodox methodology, but it works.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you got 2. You got back-to-back here.
Ooh.
Okay. My number 2 dad, and the same thing as Brandon with the lately I've been, as I get older, you go back to the things that you loved when you were a kid. And I remember the show Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm going with Ray Romano as my number 2 dad in this fictional TV draft. He's a sports writer for a newspaper, which is extinct now, but lives across the road from his parents. 3 kids, great dad, good role model. Even if he never wanted to sometimes put the effort in, he was always still around, always willing to put in the time and effort. He's also a hilarious TV show dad. So Ray Romano is my number 2 pick.
The Muhammad Ali autograph is probably the best episode. Yeah, that's probably the best episode of Everybody Likes Raymond. They killed Muhammad.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's fantastic. I feel like his dad should be like honorable mention for great TV dad would be a horrible real life dad.
Right.
Right, you got your second pick here.
Yeah, so I'm going with another cartoon character. I'm going with Jerry, the dad from Rick and Morty. Because if anything, when we game, one of our favorite quotes is whenever one of us is hiding along trying to make it through the circles of Warzone. There's a quote from Jerry when this galactic federation is collapsing, and he makes it home, and he's like, I just kept crawling, and it worked, and no one paid attention to me, and I made it out of there. He's maybe not the best dad or the best person as in like skills yet, but he's there and he cares, even if he's aloof and not really worth a lot.
Yeah,
but he's there. But he's there.
That's how I want to describe any of my draft picks.
Yeah.
He's there.
He's a warm body.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, who you got next?
Oh, yeah, I am back up. All right. So last pick, I went with, like I said, we're just trying to watch a little bit of older content. Well, now, Savannah still does like cartoon shows, so I'm surprised he lasted this long. There's no way I can't believe he lasted this long. I thought about him with the first pick. I'm getting great value here in the 3rd round. But we're going with I'm thinking probably recency bias, but Bluey. Bluey's dad.
I had him on the board. He was on my big board.
Dude,
that's a tough one. Easy, Eric. That's a tough one to live up to.
I was going to say, that's unrealistic expectations of what a dad is.
He's the perfect dad. The perfect.
Brandon, hey, real quick, who was your second pick? Did we skip you?
No, he had Phil Dunphy.
Yeah, that was Phil.
Phil. That's right. I didn't write that down. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good job.
I'm glad y'all write them down. I didn't write them down.
Yeah.
Bluey's dad is a good one. That's
He was
too good.
literally,
dude. You
yeah.
literally watch him and you're like, dude, no one is that patient. No one can be that have that kind of creativity and imagination all the time with his kids.
all the time.
He's a perfect prospect.
Nice. That was a good one, Brandon.
I guarantee you, he has like skeletons in his closet. I would be afraid to look at his search history on his web browser.
Yeah, we need to
That's
see
all I'm
like a making the music type documentary about Bandit. Like, there's got to be some deep rooted. Yeah, he's
like he goes to like AshleyMadison.com or something.
Yeah, he's gonna show up on one of these Netflix documentaries, exposés.
Yes.
All right. So are we just doing 3 rounds, or should we go 4? Because there's a lot of good names left on the board.
One more.
All right, should we go one more? Okay, we'll go 4 because that determines on who I'm going to take here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my third pick.
So
my third pick. I can't believe this guy lasted this long. This is excellent value in the 3rd round. I'm going to go with Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince. I mean, just an all-timer, dude.
Technically, he's an uncle.
I mean, he was still good to his kids. Somewhat.
Hey, no moms on the dad podcast.
Yeah. Oh God, it's Courtney. Courtney, get out of here!
Yeah.
Shoo! Treat her like Harry and Henderson's. Can't you see we don't want you? Go.
Yeah. Courtney's gonna reach out to
nerd.
Yeah, Courtney's gonna reach out to all of Brandon's friends who subscribed and tell them it's not worth it. All right. So Uncle Phil was the 3rd. All right. Man, there's so many good names.
He was an attorney, right? And wasn't that his thing?
He was a
like
judge.
An attorney.
He was a judge. He was a judge.
Very successful judge.
Yep. Living the good life in Bel Air, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Man. So many good ones here. You know what? I'm going to go.
I feel like Bluey's dad should have been the number 1 pick. Damn it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. I'm surprised you can do. We've talked about this, Eric. We've had this conversation before.
I had him down for number 1, and then I just like the other ones.
So then you went 3rd with him? He was like, no, 2 good cartoon characters. I have 2 cartoon character dads.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so this guy is also tremendous value. I'm going to go with Brian Mills from Take. Yeah.
He has a very specific set of skills.
Yeah, very specific set of skills. Literally went to a different country and killed people to get his kid back. So, I mean, that's got to put him up there. So I'm going to go with Brian Mills. So that wraps up my draft. So, Brandon, who you got for your last pick?
All right. Fantasy football, last pick. If you haven't already, you're picking a kicker. If you haven't picked a kicker, you're picking up someone who's like, hey, this might work out. Let's throw something out there and see if this works. It might hit late season. So I'm going with Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Dude, you just lost.
All right.
You just lost?
Hey, doing whatever he needs to do to set up his family after he's dead. That's give up everything. Had a successful career as a teacher.
A career.
Leave in the comments if you like Walter White.
Yeah.
Eric never watched the show, so he can't even comment. So his response is null and void. Null and void.
Yeah. Now I will say the fact that.
Can I have a chance? I saw the first episode. It was fine. It's fine.
I will say Walter White. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it to you in the sense that he did leave all that money for his family.
Yeah.
And that's about all I can give you for best dad.
Yeah.
Like I said, dude, last pick.
I know. Look, that's a real boomer bust pick right there. People could love it. People could hate it.
I like boomer bust.
Yeah.
I know. Now I'm trying to go back and I think what was the dad? Are you done, Brandon? Are you done glorifying a drug dealer?
I'm fine. I'm done.
What was the dad from Growing Pains? Something Seaver?
Oh yeah. Alan Thicke. I don't remember his character name.
Yeah, Alan Thicke is the actor, but I'm going with the Growing Pains dad.
He also took it.
He took it. I was trying to think when I was a kid. I was like, what shows were like fantastic? And the Boy Meets World dad is a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah,
but I'm going to go with the Growing Pains. I'll call him Mr. Seaver because this is off the dome. That's how fresh I am. Off the dome, Mr. Seaver, Growing Pains.
That's a good.
Great dad. Great TV dad.
So I'll kind of recap everybody's picks here. So Eric, you went with Goku, Ray Romano,
yes sir,
Jerry from Rick and Morty,
yes,
and then Mr. Seaver.
Yeah,
not bad.
Thank you.
You did leave a lot of good picks with that first pick, but
I don't know. You don't think Goku's worthy of being a great dad? He trained his kid in martial arts.
Dude, Goku's great. I mean, he was on my big board, but he was down on my big board.
He's the protector of Earth. Okay, all right. Okay, fine.
Hey, how much money?
Okay, Raiden.
He's literally the Raiden of Dragon Ball Z and ish.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Brandon, you had Danny Tanner, Phil Dunphy, Bandit, and Walter White. I would have said you easily won this draft until you hit that Walter White pick.
Walter White one. No one's gonna. Hey, first off, no one's gonna even know who that guy is. So good luck with that one.
The greatest show in television history, and Eric over here saying no one's gonna know who that guy is.
Greatest show in basic cable history. Yeah.
When you have 3 number 1 picks for your 1, 2, and 3 pick, you can kind of do whatever.
I honestly think if especially if this is a pod by dads for dads, I think the Bluey's dad one is probably the sleeper choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be the seal of the draft for sure. Brandon, well played on that one. Yeah. And then I went with Alan Matthews, Tim Taylor, Uncle Phil, and
Tim
Brian
Allen.
Mills.
Oh yeah, Tim Taylor. Yep.
Yeah, Tim the Tool Man. So some other notable dads that we left off the list. We got Mufasa from Lion King. You know, we'll kind of leave that up to interpretation. Coach Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show. No, of course, Eric never watching any shows.
No, basic cable.
Yeah. Too busy with Goku.
The dad from John Q. Denzel.
That's a good one.
Held people hostage to make sure his kid got treated. That's a good dad.
Oh, so we're promoting criminal activities.
I did not.
Now y'all are good with it. Now y'all are good with it.
Anish
me and Brandon went the felony route.
I got one. I got an honorable mention to Anish.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm surprised you didn't do. I thought you were going to take him. And this was I probably should have done this for my 4th because I like him so much. But Sandy Cohen from the OC.
Oh, damn it! That's a good honorable mention. Yeah,
that would have been a good one.
He was a lawyer, had a smoking hot wife, big ass house in California,
surfer, just great hair,
just living
cool
life,
dude. Yeah, dude, great hair. That was better than Walter White, Brandon.
That would have been way better than Walter White. You would have easily won the draft if you went with him. Not as fun.
Not as fun. I'll pick him up on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
So, Anish, correct me if I'm wrong. Literally every vote from our followers is going to matter because we only have like 8 of them. So, like, if someone can get to like 2 or 3 votes, they got it. They got it locked in.
And that's assuming that they're actually going to vote.
On this fictional voting board.
Yeah. We're really hoping that people leave comments. Rate, subscribe, rate 5 stars. And then we had Ted Lasso. He's technically a dad. We always forget that.
Left the country though.
Yeah, but dude, is he a good dad though? I don't know if he's a good dad.
That's the tricky part.
I think he's a great motivational speaker. I don't know if he's a good dad or not.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep his marriage together, you know?
Left the country.
But does that have anything to do about being a dad?
Dude, I think that's another you want a hot take? You're like, his wife sucked.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. She's the reason that marriage fell apart. Mm-hmm. But we can talk about we can talk about Ted Lasso another day.
She quit trying.
Yeah. And then we got Ned Flanders. We got
no, Ned's a terrible dad. Those kids are going to end up on like cocaine in college.
Never mind, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say a joke that might lose a lot of our followers.
What about Goofy? Goofy's a good dad.
Oh, Goofy's a good one. Goofy's a good one. Although he did take Max against his will across country.
Yeah, but he taught him the perfect kiss.
Also true. Side tangent. Did you see that Disney is releasing like an emo version of songs, like old school songs? Yeah. They did Eye to Eye. So they did like an alternative version of Eye to Eye, and it's awesome.
Like,
is it good?
It's good.
I haven't listened to all that. There's a Simple Plan one.
Yeah, the Simple Plan one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love it.
Yeah, and then we got Marlon from Finding Nemo. Traveled across the ocean. Also true. All fair point.
Yeah. Lost his wife and his kid. That's a weird one.
Yeah. And then the next 2, Homer Simpson, Ned Stark. Homer, I guess you could see he's always just providing for his family, but he's not really the best dad.
I mean, technically, Eddard raised 2 kings and a queen because Rob became king of the North. Jon Snow became king of the North. Sansa at the end, the ending sucks, but she becomes the queen of the North. And then Arya became an assassin.
Yep, also true. And then Mike Brady and Carl Winslow.
Yeah, I thought about going Carl Winslow. He's a good dad. He's a good dad, too.
He is a good dad. All right, so that wraps up our draft.
You're saying we have role models for TV dads. That's what we're basing our how to be a dad and stuff with TV dads.
Listen, being a dad is all about just piecing together pieces of different dads, right? we're just all trying to make it in this world. So, all right, like I said, I don't know if we're gonna keep doing the draft moving on, but we might throw some in there.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just
I didn't like it. Eric had bad picks and didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I would too if I went Goku for a crown.
Goku's a great dad. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
He is. I'm just saying, you could have got him in the 4th round. You could have got him way far down. All right. So that pretty much wraps up everything I had. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on, talk about?
I wanted to talk about So Anish, have you been watching any of the Olympics?
I have. So Priya loves the Olympics, and so do I. So we've been watching every night.
Dude, same here. We love the Olympics.
It's awesome. It's so
the
fun.
The other day I turned it on and it was like midday and it was like some random swimming event. And I was like, I didn't even know what the event was, who was in it. And they showed, it was like mid race. And I was like 2 seconds later, I'm like, go, swim, go.
Dude, I was watching was it the 10,000 mile or 10,000 meter or the 15,000 meter run? And like, it was just a qualifier. And like, the USA guy had to like finish third to qualify, and like, dude, by the end of it, I was like screaming my ass off.
Is he the one that he won like the second medal in like 50 something years in that track event?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, because we saw the final of that one, and we were like, "Oh yeah, same thing." You're like, I don't know the history of this, and then we're like, "Yeah, we just won a medal for the first time in 50 something years." I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything else, dude. Anish, did you watch any of the women's rugby stuff?
Dude, I didn't watch it leading up to it, but I watched that final game. It was awesome, dude.
Dude, to win a bronze, it was very awesome. Yeah. But even the one lady that went viral, she was like stiff arming people, like literally like Derrick Henry, like crushing people. I now follow her on Instagram. When I first started following her, she was at like 900,000 followers, and since then she's now at 3 million followers.
Jesus.
That's my favorite. She's one of my favorite parts of the Olympics is like some random people that you've never. I don't care about rugby, let alone Olympic rugby or anything. And I literally like we were watching like every match during the day and stuff.
There'll be sports that I care nothing about, and I'm intrigued. If there's somebody that like has like a decent story that's involved, or even just somebody from the USA that's involved, I'm like,
yep,
all in. I'm sold.
Oh, dude, one of the swimmers, she was from Nashville. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
Nice. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you her name right now, but I was like, oh, Nashville, let's go.
She did not go viral.
No. Well, I think she won a medal, but once again, I couldn't tell you her name.
Yeah, dude. The Olympics have been good so far. Like, I feel like the competitions, I feel like it's a lot more, I mean, outside like the gymnastics with like Simone Biles and like some of the long distance swimming with like Katie Ledecky, I feel like everything else is like pretty close.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I loved it.
I loved it. There.
No, there's a Simone Biles thing, but I'm not touching that one right now. So, dude, okay, all right, just do it. Here's my stance. She is fantastic, but this whole PR thing they've done since the last Olympics, where she literally dropped out because she couldn't handle the pressure, and then now it's like they kind of just like hand waved. Oh yeah, she had a weird equilibrium thing when you're like she literally couldn't handle it and dropped out, but she doesn't get any shit for that. To me, I'm like, dude, in the NFL, the NBA, NHL, when people fold under pressure, they get destroyed for it, and yet she gets like a free pass. That's my stance on it. It's like she is fantastic, but she also there's got to be like the asterisk of like, but don't forget in Tokyo she flamed out and couldn't do anything. That's just part of the story, and she came back and dominated.
Listen, you're not wrong. But I love me some Simone Biles, so I'm all for the Simone Biles hype train.
Name medals we can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brandon clearly has not watched any Olympics. Brandon was just sitting in the back, just kind of nodding his head. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I saw the rugby on Twitter. I did see the whatever their last play where they did like 94 yards to.
Literally, yeah, it's like a Hail Mary version in rugby, I guess.
That's literally all I've seen. I haven't watched anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've had it on, not paid attention at all.
If the CrossFit games were on, though, you'd be watching that thing like a hawk.
Dude. Yeah.
Brandon would be like a hawk Tua on the CrossFit games.
Are y'all ready for that? That's going to be the next episode. What are y'all talking about?
Be the next episode.
Yeah, that's not going to get us viewers, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's just going to be recording in the gym.
Well,
just clanging and banging.
Sweaty as hell.
Yeah, sweaty as hell.
This Thursday.
Hold on, let me crush these 3 pull-ups real quick. Okay, I'm done.
Next episode.
Hey, I'm going to go pick up this bag of sand and move it to there. And I'm going to pick it up and move it over here.
There'll be the championships. There'll be the finals will be going during the next episode. So maybe we stream it live together.
That'll lose more viewership than the fantasy draft.
I think I'll have technical difficulties during that one.
We're motivating Eric.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, boys, we went a full hour. So, we
number one in the books.
Number one in the books. Great episode. Real quick before we sign off, is everybody caught up with House of Dragon? I know obviously the finale is tonight.
We're watch tonight.
Yeah.
Hope it's good.
So maybe we can talk about that.
Well, Nish, okay. Well, I was going to say, just do like a quick preview. What are your thoughts? What have your thoughts been on this second season? And then what do you think is going to happen in the finale? Because I have thoughts too.
Yeah. So I think the second season has been good. It's just been really slow, like very slow. And that doesn't mean it's not good. It's still good, but it's just, I was expecting a lot more. But I think after the end of last episode, going into this finale, I think shit's about to go down now. And now I think it's going to be go, go, go for the most part. Mm-hmm. Is what I'm hoping, at least.
What about you, Brandon?
No, same thing's been slow. It's not been, I guess the one that was fourth episode, we actually got to see some dragons fight. Mm-hmm. Last week was pretty, it was pretty good. It was a good build up. Hopefully this week's there's more fighting. We'll see some dragons.
I feel like for it being like the Targaryen Civil War, the Dance of the Dragons and stuff, like you said, we've seen one dragon battle. It didn't really, and honestly, a lot of the strategy of the dragon battle didn't make a lot of sense to me. But I also feel like with how much
we're going to unpack dragon strategy.
Yeah, yes. Dragon Strategy 101. No, but also I feel like with how slow it's been, you would think it would be like a ton of character development, and I don't feel like any of the characters were like, are you rooting for like Rhaenyra or Alicent or like even Aemond and like Daemon Targaryen? I'm like, do you know anything more about them now than we did at the beginning of the season?
I don't think any of them are good rulers.
Well, that's what I mean. But even like, I don't know. I feel like you knew, if you're comparing it to Game of Thrones, because you have to. Those early seasons, you were like in love with characters, with with either how cool they were, how slimy they were, or whatever. And then this one, I'm like, yeah, no, they're trying to grasp power, but I don't know. Have you read it? Have you read the story, or do you know what happens, Anish?
I mean, I kind of know the grand scheme of things of what happens. I don't know necessarily individually what happens to people, but I mean, I will say I really did like Daemon. Like, he was probably my favorite character at the end of season 1.
But, at the end of the first season.
Yeah, but him being high on peyote at Harrenhal for this whole season has not been great.
It's, and like, you'll see a ton of stuff, and it's like, oh, his character, it's like he's trying to figure out what he wants. I'm like, dude, all I know is he's having like weird dreams, and it's like, you're like, you could have done this in one episode.
Dude, and also we know he wants the crown. Like, we know that.
Yeah,
like, that's never been...
You knew that in the first season.
Yeah, like, that's never been a mystery.
Is that your dog? Is there a thunderstorm, Brandon?
No, Courtney, like, shut this door. She's tired of the sleepy dads.
Yeah. She's like, you told me it was only gonna be 30 minutes.
Dude, Anish, the last time we were at Brandon's house, him and Katie and Haley did a mountain run in Chattanooga. At like 2 a.m., a thunderstorm hit. His dog, Riley. No, yeah. We were in. Are we in the room you're in now, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm in the office piece, but there's a bed.
Okay. Yeah, so we were in like this, like the bonus part on this bed, and out of nowhere you hear something go like tackle into the door. Like, thank God it was locked. And me and Katie were like, what the hell? And it's like thunderstorm, like lightning. We were like, what the? And then we heard Lily, I think, came out and got her.
Yeah,
dude, dogs are...
He didn't like storms. Doesn't like storms.
Him.
Yeah.
Why? He normally sleeps with Lily, or he'll come down to us. But yeah, I don't know. I guess he
got confused, scared the shit out of us, dude.
He needed Eric, and he tried to air down the door to get to Eric.
I was like stiff. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
He was like a fireman running into a burning building. He was like, I got to get the boy Eric.
Yeah. Not Eric. Keep him safe.
Get Eric. He's the weakest.
Yeah. Lily grabs him. He's, I'll come back for you.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, great first episode. For those who are listening, be sure to...
We're doing these quarterly.
Well, let's see. We'll try. We're going to try to do on a weekly basis, but we're all nearing 40. We all have jobs. We all have kids. So, scheduling doesn't always work out. So we'll try to do it every week. Sometimes it may be every 2 weeks. Sometimes it may be every 3 weeks. Who knows? We'll just kind of play it by ear. But be sure to follow us on social media at Sleepy Dads Pod, across all social medias, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Podcast available everywhere where you get your podcast listening fix in. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major carriers should have our podcast. So be sure to hit that follow button, leave a comment, let us know how we did on our first episode, and be sure to rate us 5 stars.
Comment. Keep your comments to yourself. I don't give a shit what your comments are on the podcast.
And that we will end on. Yeah, and we will end on that.